Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to GBFC 2 for my Champions League quarter-final first leg predictions. We have got 4 incredibly tasty fixtures to take a look through today, including Chelsea versus Porto, or Porto versus Chelsea if we get it correct, where I'm going to be giving all of my score predictions for the first leg, how I think things are going to set out for all of the 8 teams left in the Champions League competition. And as always, with a video like this one, be sure to let me know your predictions game by game in the comments down below. If you are new here to GBFC2, it is the second channel, which is the more football orientated channel to the George Benson football channel. It gets a little bit complicated, so make sure you're subscribed, turn on the bell notifications so that you never miss an upload. And we are going to begin with the audition, maybe, for Erling Haaland and Borussia Dortmund away at Manchester City in the first leg of one of the 2 matches tonight on Tuesday night in the Champions League. Manchester City are many people's favourites to win this year's competition. The one flip side of that coin, as much as I agree that they are definitely one of the best football teams in the whole of the flipping continent and the world, the one thing that Manchester City lack, the virtually all apart from Dortmund of the other teams in that side of the draw, they don't have the experience. They don't have that Champions League pedigree of making it to finals, making it to numerous semi-finals. And it is when they get to this stage in the competition that they seem to have some frailties. On the flip side of the game token, we've got Borussia Dortmund, who are not having the best of seasons in the Bundesliga. It's looking at the moment as if the most likely way for them to get back into next season's competition is to actually win the bloody thing this year, because it's not going well for them. It's looking like they're going to finish outside of a Champions League place in the Bundesliga. However, they do have one man that I have spoken about countless times over on the main channel. They've got the Norwegian striker, Erling Haaland, who was the fastest and the youngest player to ever hit 20 Champions League goals, which is an incredible statistic. And I said that it's a bit of an audition for Erling Haaland because with Aguero leaving Manchester City come the end of the season, City are going to be looking at a new striker regardless of what Pep Guardiola comes out and says to the media. And Erling Haaland is by far the best one on the market, and he is a Manchester City target. So the odds are stacked against Dortmund in this fixture because, well, City are one of the form teams in Europe. They've got, without doubt, one of the best squads in Europe, and of course, Pep Guardiola as their manager. So the odds are stacked against Borussia Dortmund, and I don't think they're going to get a result here at the Etihad, but I do think they'll score. As good as Man City have been defensively in this competition this season, Porto are the only team to have scored against them so far. I think it's going to finish in the first leg. I think it will be a convincing start to the game for City. I think they'll get out the blocks early. I think they'll score a couple of goals in the first 30 odd minutes. And I think City will win the first leg by 3-1. I say that Borussia Dortmund will score. I expect, just for the headlines, that City will win the game and Erling Haaland will score for Borussia Dortmund, which would certainly give them a chance going into the second leg. But considering that Man City don't really concede goals in the Champions League, or just in general, to be honest, it would be a massive uphill task. But I think Dortmund will score and Manchester City will take a 3-1 lead into the second leg. We move into an incredibly, I think I'm going to wake up at 4 in the morning to watch this game too. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. It is a clash of 2 of the gargantuan titans in European football. Real Madrid, they've won it more than any other club have in the competition's history. Liverpool, they've won it 6 times. And as my friends, who are virtually all Liverpool fans back at home, tell me, we won it 5. You won it 6 now, so you can stop singing that song about Istanbul. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. When the draw was made, this was an incredibly tasty tie. Not only because of the calibre and the size of the clubs and what it means playing European football. They're both 2 teams that elevate their game on a European night. And when they play one another, it has the recipe for, in my opinion, a goal fest and just a spectacle. It's a footballing spectacle when Real Madrid and Liverpool face off against one another. And I think the interesting thing about this is that neither side are at their very best at the moment. Liverpool have had a topsy-turvy season. Real Madrid, their season's not been one of their strongest either. They've had a few icky results here and there. In the Champions League itself, they left it until the last couple of games to even secure qualification from their group. It looked as though Shakhtar Donetsk were going to qualify ahead of Real Madrid at one point. And I watch Real Madrid and I just don't see the same kind of level that won them 3 Champions Leagues in a row, that helped them get to La Decima, to break records. Zinedine Zidane is still the manager. Sergio Ramos, who has been a key protagonist in this fixture in recent years, particularly that final where he injured Mo Salah, he isn't going to be available for this first leg. He's suspended, so I think it's going to be a very open game. I think we saw that despite Liverpool being a shadow of themselves from last season, if we're making a comparison, we saw at the weekend against Arsenal that on their day, they're an incredibly strong side who can put in a very strong attacking performance. That second half from Liverpool at the Emirates at times was absolutely phenomenal. You know, good passes in between the lines, Salah making runs, Diogo Jota arriving into the box to score. They're a dangerous side, and I think they'll go to this first leg as the away side, and I think it's going to finish 2-2, which I actually think is a brilliant result for Liverpool. I'm not entirely sure where the second leg's going to be played, but I think Liverpool getting a score draw in the first leg, and I've said 2-2, I think it would make them the favourites going into that second leg, which means if Liverpool go through, then that's who Chelsea would play if we indeed knock out Porto in the quarter-finals. We're going to move into the third fixture, which I'm going to save Chelsea till last, Bayern Munich versus Paris Saint-Germain. A repeat of the 2019-20 final, where Bayern Munich won, but if we look at the balance of how that game went, Paris Saint-Germain had some very big chances, which Dortmund don't always, I'm talking flipping out my arse here, Bayern Munich don't always give up a lot of chances because they're such a strong team, and the way that they play means that opposition teams don't get many chances against them. Paris Saint-Germain had a fair few last season. You add into that, Bayern Munich's talisman, Robert Lewandowski, is going to be out for both of these games, and you start to wonder that despite the quality of this Bayern Munich side, who in my opinion are one of the best European teams that I can actually remember in my lifetime. It's not just been like the last season they were a class above, yes, granted, but watching them again this season, watching them in the Bundesliga, they're one of the best sides I think I've ever seen because they're so strong, they're so fast, they're tactically so well drilled, and they've got technical players, they've got skillful players, fast players, powerful players, and they've got absolutely everything. But without Robert Lewandowski, it is an opportunity for them to show that they don't just need that man who scores all of their goals. He doesn't score all of them, but he scores a very vast portion of them. They can show that even without Lewandowski, they're an incredible side. However, PSG, after last year's final, they've got a massive point to prove. It's only a matter of time before Paris Saint-Germain win a Champions League. I'm telling you, if they don't win one within the next 5 years, it would be an absolute disaster for that football club. They've spent so much money. They've got so many big names. It's Paris above all else. What an incredible location it is. Paris Saint-Germain are going to win it eventually. And I've got a feeling that they might knock Bayern Munich out of this tie because there's no Lewandowski. For this first leg, I think it's going to be interesting. Again, I think both teams are going to score, and I think it's going to finish 1-1. I think Paris Saint-Germain will be very happy to get that away goal and be in whatever kind of commanding driver's seat you can say when it's against Bayern Munich. A 1-1 draw for Paris Saint-Germain is my prediction, and I think it could give them the advantage going into the second leg, setting up a semi-final, most probably against Manchester City, but we'll see how these games play, and then we'll do predictions for the second legs. We move into Chelsea and Porto. First leg, despite the game being in Seville, is Porto's home tie, and Chelsea will look at this as being the best possible scenario. I've said this before on GBFC, the main channel. It is probably the easiest draw on paper, and the fact we're away from home with the second leg at home is a massive benefit to the boys in blue. That being said, as I mentioned in my match preview over on GBFC, football games are not won on paper, they are won by the team that turns up and plays the best on the field in the 90 minutes. Porto play some very good football. They're a very well organised side, they press very cohesively well together as a unit. They've got some pacey players on the wings. They've got some technical players in the middle. And despite Taremi not being able to play, Marega is still a very dangerous striker. I think this is going to be a tough one for Chelsea. However, I said it when the draw was made. I think if you match the two sides up against one another, I think man for man, Chelsea are the stronger team. And I think that we have, in Thomas Tuchel, a manager who just 12 months ago guided his team to a final. Porto surprised everybody by knocking out Juventus, and they finished second behind Manchester City in their group. But that result in Turin, in extra time, despite losing the match, they still went through, surprised so many people, myself included. However, Chelsea have looked very comfortable in the Champions League this season. We beat Atletico Madrid 3-0 on aggregate in the last 16, and I think we're going to go through in this one as well. And I'm going to start off, I didn't actually give my prediction over on GBFC because I wanted people to come and watch this video. I think Chelsea are going to win by 2-1 in the first leg in Seville. It would be an incredible result, an impeccable result almost, apart from conceding a goal. But I think Chelsea are going to have the better of Porto. Very good team, but I think we're going to turn up and get the win. As I mentioned at the beginning, let me know your predictions for all four of these matches in the comments down below. And then when the second legs are played, we will revisit this video, see how close or how far away that I was, and then we'll conclude by predicting the rest of the quarterfinal games. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're as excited as I am for an incredible week of Champions League football, particularly that game in Seville between Porto and Chelsea tomorrow night. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new, hit the like button if you did enjoy it, and I will catch you all tomorrow with a brand new GBFC2 video. See you there.